stop. Don't scroll. Not yet. Because what you're doing right now, this constant scrolling, tapping, switching, it feels harmless. It feels normal. But it isn't. You are being distracted in ways that are slowly taking control of your mind, and you don't even notice it happening. This isn't just about social media. This is about your brain, your attention, your life. The reality you're avoiding. Let me be direct. You are not as in control of your actions as you think you are. Every time you open TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, every time you switch between videos, games, messages, you believe you're making a choice, but most of the time, you're reacting, not deciding. And there's a big difference, because reaction is automatic. Decision requires awareness, and right now, awareness is exactly what you're losing. Section 1. The science of your attention. Let's bring in something real. Science. Your brain is not designed for the modern digital world. It evolved to focus on one thing at a time. This ability is linked to your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, focus, and self-control. But constant digital stimulation weakens this system. Research from institutions like Stanford has shown that heavy multitaskers, people who constantly switch between tasks, actually perform worse at focusing, remembering information, and filtering distractions. In simple terms, the more you multitask, the worse your brain becomes at focusing. Section 2. Dopamine, the trap you don't see. Now let's talk about dopamine. Called the feel-good chemical, but that's not entirely accurate. It's actually a motivation and reward prediction chemical. It spikes when your brain expects a reward. And social media is designed perfectly around this system. You don't know what the next video will be. You don't know how many likes you'll get. You don't know what notification will pop up. This unpredictability is key. It's the same mechanism used in slot machines. Psychologists call it a variable reward schedule, one of the most powerful ways to create habit-forming behavior. Every scroll is like pulling a lever. Sometimes you get something interesting, sometimes you don't. But your brain keeps trying, again and again and again. Section 3. You are the product. Let's remove the illusion. These platforms are not free. You are paying with your attention. Companies design algorithms that learn your behavior, what you watch, how long you stay, what you click. Then they optimize everything to keep you engaged longer. Why? Because more time equals more profit. This is not a theory. This is a business model. The longer you stay distracted, the more valuable you are to them. Section 4. Cognitive overload and mental fatigue. Your brain has limits. It cannot process endless streams of information without consequences. When you constantly consume short-form content, fast videos, quick cuts, rapid stimulation, you overload your cognitive system. This leads to something called cognitive fatigue. Symptoms include reduced focus, poor memory, mental exhaustion, difficulty thinking deeply. Cognitive psychology shows that frequent task switching increases mental load and reduces efficiency. So even when you're not on your phone, your brain is still affected. Deep thinking requires time, silence, effort. But distraction destroys all three. When was the last time you sat alone, without your phone, and just thought? Not for 30 seconds, but for 10 minutes. Most people can't do it anymore. And that's dangerous, because deep thinking is where clarity comes from. It's where decisions are made. It's where creativity happens. Without it, you become reactive instead of intentional. There's increasing evidence suggesting that constant exposure to fast-paced digital content reduces attention span. Your brain adapts to what it experiences. If you train it to expect constant stimulation, it starts rejecting anything slow. Reading becomes harder. Studying becomes painful. Even normal conversations feel boring. This isn't because those things are boring. It's because your brain has been rewired to crave speed. Now let's go deeper. This isn't just about focus. It's about mental health. Studies have linked excessive social media use to increased anxiety, higher levels of depression, and lower self-esteem. Why? Because you're constantly comparing your real life to curated highlights of others. You see success without struggle, happiness without context, perfection without reality, and your brain starts to believe that you're falling behind, even when you're not. The illusion of relaxation. You tell yourself, I'm just relaxing. But are you? Real rest restores your energy. Distraction doesn't. It just replaces one form of stimulation with another. After hours of scrolling, do you feel refreshed or drained? That's the difference. Your brain isn't resting. It's being overstimulated. Section 9. Why you keep going back. If it's harmful, why don't you stop? Because habits are powerful, and these platforms are designed to create them. Triggers, actions, rewards. That's the loop. You feel bored, you open your phone, you get stimulation, your brain remembers it. Next time you're bored, you repeat it. Over time, it becomes automatic. You don't even think about it anymore. Section 10. You're losing control slowly. This is the part most people ignore. Loss of control doesn't happen suddenly. It happens gradually. 1 hour becomes 2, 2 becomes 5. Days turn into months, months into years, and one day you realize you've spent a huge part of your life distracted, not building, not growing, just consuming. Section 11. Awareness changes everything. Here's the good news. You can break this, but not by force, by awareness. Start noticing your behavior. Your phone. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is this intentional or automatic? That question alone creates space, and in that space, you regain control. Section 12. Practical steps backed by research. Let's keep this practical. Research in behavioral science suggests simple interventions can reduce compulsive usage. Remove triggers. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Fewer cues equals fewer automatic actions. Increase friction. Keep your phone away while working. Even small barriers reduce impulsive behavior. Set time limits. Use app timers. Awareness of time reduces overuse. Single tasking. Focus on one task at a time. This strengthens attention networks in the brain. Scheduled breaks. Instead of random scrolling, plan your rest. Section 13. Rebuilding your brain. The brain is adaptable. This is called neuroplasticity. If it can be trained to be distracted, it can be trained to focus again. But it takes time and consistency. Start with small changes. Read for 10 minutes. Sit in silence. Think. Write. Create. Slowly, your brain will adjust. Conclusion: